Estonia has just taken a massive step to fortify its defenses by signing a contract worth nearly 290 million euros. This northern European nation officially acquired 6 units of the K239 Chunmoo rocket launcher system from South Korean defense giant Hanwha Aerospace. According to information released by the Estonian Center for Defense Investments on December 21, 2025, this deal is not just about buying combat vehicles. The package includes rockets, missiles, crew training, and long-term technical support to ensure these machines remain operational. This move sharply expands Estonia's ability to strike high-value enemy targets from a long distance. Furthermore, it strengthens NATO's deterrence on the alliance's northeastern flank, right on the border with their most significant potential threats. Let's break down what the K239 Chunmoo actually is and why it's so special. Simply put, it is a rocket launcher system mounted on a massive 8x8 heavy truck. Imagine a large truck carrying 2 large rectangular boxes, or pods, on its back, filled with rockets ready to fire. This twin pod design is its main advantage. Each pod is a sealed container that protects the rockets inside, allowing for extremely rapid reloading in the field. This means the crew doesn't have to load rockets one by one manually, which takes a long time. They simply swap out the entire box using a crane built into the truck. Deliveries of these advanced units are scheduled to begin in the second half of 2027. Interestingly, these vehicles will be specifically modified to suit Estonian operating conditions and comply with local national road regulations. The deal also includes a framework agreement that leaves room for Estonia to purchase more units in the future if needed. Now, let's talk about the firepower, because this is the heart of the Chunmoo's strength. The Estonian contract explicitly names 3 different types of guided missiles, giving them a tiered range of attack options. First, there's the CGR-080 guided rocket with a 239mm caliber. According to official releases, this rocket can reach targets up to 80 kilometers away. This is highly effective for hitting enemy forces at the front lines or just slightly behind them. Second, there's the CTM-MR missile. Reports from South Korea consistently link this missile to a mid-range bracket of about 160 kilometers. This fills a crucial gap between short-range rockets and long-range ballistic missiles. And third, the most formidable of them all, is the CTM-290. This is a long-range missile capable of flying up to 290 kilometers. With this missile, Estonia can strike targets deep inside enemy territory, such as command centers or major logistics hubs. The combination of these 3 weapons gives Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, a complete ladder of effects. They can launch precision strikes ranging from the depth of a brigade's defense all the way to paralyzing enemy operations across a wide theater of war. It is important to understand that Chunmoo is designed for modern warfare, which relies heavily on speed and mobility. In military terms, this is known as the counter-battery fight. Essentially, the survival of an artillery unit depends on its ability to shoot and then immediately move before the enemy detects their location and fires back. Because it uses wheels rather than tank tracks, this 8x8 launcher can travel quickly on roads across Estonia's relatively compact territory. They can shift from one point to another, fire, and then leave to reload from pre-positioned pods hidden in secret locations. This approach fits perfectly with NATO's sensor-to-shooter doctrine. This means that as soon as drones, ground radars, or allied surveillance aircraft spot a target, that data can be sent to the Chunmoo unit for execution in minutes rather than hours. The tactical sweet spot is the ability to saturate enemy targets with a fast salvo of rockets to overwhelm them. After that, operators can switch to using fewer high-value long-range missiles to destroy specific targets. Command posts, air defense radars, and enemy artillery groupings are prime targets for the system. So what is the fundamental reason behind Estonia's decision to buy this expensive equipment? The answer is rooted in geography and the cold mathematics of threat analysis. Estonia shares a direct border with Russia, and in any crisis scenario, the warning time they would have is incredibly short. Therefore, Tallinn has been pushing hard to build a deep strike capacity. The goal is to hold the adversary's rear areas at risk, not just fight on the border's edge. Estonian officials have framed this rocket artillery as a tool of deterrence for both Estonia and NATO. Local media also link this push to a broader surge in defense investments. Estonia plans to spend more than 10 billion euros between 2026 and 2029. Such massive funds are allocated for strategic capabilities like deep strike, air defense, and ammunition stockpiles. Beyond strategy, Chunmoo also answers two practical problems that Western competitors often struggle to solve simultaneously. Those problems are production capacity and availability. Currently, the US-made HIMARS system remains the benchmark for precision rocket artillery within NATO alliance. Estonia is actually already in the process of building its own HIMARS fleet. However, huge global demand and production bottlenecks have stretched delivery timelines for HIMARS across Europe. Estonia's Ministry of Defense has been explicit that Chunmoo is meant to supplement HIMARS, not replace it. By choosing Chunmoo, they can get the hardware faster while pulling meaningful industrial value into the country. Officials state that Hanwha will invest 1/5 of the procurement value back into Estonian industry. This is a rare feature in rocket artillery programs where the supply chain for ammunition is usually the tightest logistical choke point. If we make a direct comparison, HIMARS is lighter and deeply standardized across NATO. It benefits from a vast US munitions ecosystem, including MRLS rockets and future missiles. However, Chunmoo has a natural advantage with its two-pod architecture on a wheeled chassis. This gives it greater magazine depth per launcher, meaning one vehicle can carry more rockets at once. Additionally, Chunmoo has the ability to tailor loads by mixing different pod types on the same truck, a feature highly valued by Poland in their variant. Compared to Israel's Pulse system, which European buyers are also selecting for flexibility, Chunmoo competes strongly on the combination of rocket and ballistic missile effects packaged on one launcher family. Plus, Hanwha has demonstrated a willingness to localize support and production, which is very attractive to smaller nations. There is also a new challenger from the West, the MRLS by Rheinmetall and Lockheed Martin. It also uses a wheeled two-pod concept and advertises a range of up to 400 kilometers. However, MRLS is still entering the market, whereas Chunmoo is already being fielded at scale by major European customers like Poland. So what is Chunmoo actually replacing inside the Estonian force structure? It turns out it's not replacing an old fleet of rocket launchers, but rather filling a capability gap that was previously empty. Before HIMARS and now Chunmoo, Estonia's deep fires relied primarily on 155mm tube artillery. This included the K9 Thunder howitzers, also sourced from South Korea. However, howitzers are optimized for sustained fire support at shorter ranges, not for long-range operational interdiction. The arrival of Chunmoo effectively shifts part of the mission set. It allows Estonia to strike far beyond the reach of standard artillery. This reduces their dependence on Allied rocket artillery during the opening hours of a high-intensity fight, which is usually the most critical moment. Finally, this decision underscores the accelerating footprint of South Korean defense industry across Europe. Hanwha isn't just exporting vehicles, they're building a regional industrial ecosystem. This business model was previously seen in missile localization efforts in Poland and is now echoed in the contract clauses with Estonia. For small frontline states, that blend of credible capability, faster production, and industrial partnership is becoming just as decisive as maximum range. In a way, Estonia isn't just buying weapons, they're buying independence and security guarantees that can be delivered quickly. In uncertain geopolitical times, speed of procurement and logistical reliability are the keys to national defense. How do you see this news?